And we're back with more Talking Law TV in our last segment, and Doug has agreed to answer some viewer mail questions about our favorite subject, firearms, and the law.
Doug's agreed to try to answer those questions and try to do so accurately.
Okay, we have the first one here from Alan from Isle of Hope via TalkingLawTV.com. Doug, love the show. Glad you're back on Saturday and Sunday night. Well, thank you, Alan. I know that you're a proponent of firearms, and I need you to speak to my wife, who also watches the show. Her name is Lisa. I have a new job where I must travel Monday through Thursday nights on the road, leaving her and my son here alone. She refuses to learn to shoot a gun. Help me.
She's probably better off without the firearm. She probably is better off without it. Now, let's get serious for just a minute. Any man that would want to arm his wife needs to think twice. No, my Pamela is armed. She knows how to use a firearm, and I've told her what to do. If somebody's trying to get in that house, just fire off a round near him. Don't have to hit him. You don't want to get blood on the carpet. Just shoot a window out. He's probably not likely to stay around. But if your wife is squeamish about guns, and some are, they just are afraid of them, don't force her. She may hurt herself or somebody else, and the bad guy may take it away from her because she'll hesitate to use it long enough that he'll snatch it out of her hand. So if she's afraid, then increase your security. Get more security alarms, get video cameras, put a video camera in her bedroom, not a video camera, the monitor in the bedroom so that she can see what's happening at the front door and around the house from her own bedroom. Get a touch screen so she doesn't have to be computer literate. I just had one of those installed in my house. You touch the screen, you can see 360 around the house. Pam thinks that somebody's at the front door rattling the doorknob. She can punch that rascal up and see what's going on. That's what you do, and then make sure you've got the ability to call the police.
Okay, but see, I was going to hope you were going to say tell her to take lessons. I even made you a picture of one taking lessons. Okay, our next one is from Chris from Savannah. Left a message toll-free viewer mail. I manage a fast food place and carry a gun to and from work because I have to make deposits each night at the bank after the restaurant closes. I don't want to wave it around. I don't want to break the law. Do I need a concealed weapons permit if I just tuck it in my pants?
Yes. If it's not exposed, and hopefully what's in your pants is not fully exposed to public view.
Well, so especially on St. Patrick's Day. You may wear a weapon that's fully exposed to view. You could wear it in a holster on your side, but if it's covered by a jacket, it's not fully exposed. So you could do that. So we have this picture. That needs a license.
Yes, because once he lets go of his hand and the jacket covers it up.
And then this picture, no license required?
I would submit no license required.
Okay, super. And that's our next question, actually. From Brandon from Effingham, I wear a pistol in a holster almost every day in an exposed manner. Please confirm this is legal. My wife keeps telling me I'm going to be arrested one day.
You might get arrested one day, but it should not be for that pistol. Could be for some other reason. But I'll tell you this, if you're walking down the streets these days with a pistol on your hip and you don't look like law enforcement, although some of our law enforcement don't look like law enforcement, if you're not known in the community, you're probably going to get questioned. But remember, there are places you cannot carry firearms, even with a permit. Public gatherings, places where alcohol is sold, where the revenue, meaning a bar or lounge, where the greater revenue is by alcohol as opposed to food. So there are places you can't go with it. You can't take it to church. Now, they're talking about changing those laws and allowing greater freedom to carry. The big controversy is whether you can take it to an airport or not. I don't know. I've got mixed emotions about that. Did you see the piece on Ted Nugent the other day where he was talking about Second Amendment? Ted Nugent, the rocker. He says the right to bear arms in the Second Amendment, that sentence stops right after you have the right to bear arms, period. He advocates no limitations, none. Because then you're just at risk of the criminals if you do. Okay,
Kevin from the website writes, he keeps a gun in his glove compartment, and when he was stopped for speeding recently, he told the cop he forgot his license instead of opening up the glove box and exposing his gun. The ticket was dismissed when he went to court with his license, but what should I have done? Would I have been arrested for having the gun in the glove box?
Absolutely. You do not need a permit. It's perfectly legal to carry your firearm in your glove box. That's legal. That's where you should keep it.
Not on the seat.
Well, if it's on the seat, as long as it's open and fully exposed to view, you can keep it on your seat. You can probably keep it in the center console because that's the functional equivalent of a glove box. it's not covered by the statute expressly, but I think any judge would say that's the functional equivalent. And obviously, if the police officer sees you reaching into the console, he's going to be alerted to that, same as a glove box. But tell the officer you got the firearm. Officer, you want me to open this? There's a firearm in there.
Okay, our next one's Brenda, by the toll-free number, says she carries a gun in her purse because she travels all over Georgia by herself doing an insurance adjuster job. Her old boss said it was against company policy, but he didn't care if she did it anyway, but she worries a new boss will find out and fire her. Can an employer really tell her she can't protect herself and fire me for carrying my gun?
I think the employer can set standards for his employees, and as a condition of employment, if that's what they say. We're a right to fire state. The employer can fire you for any reason or no reason as long as it's not an illegal reason. And therefore, he's not in violation of the Second Amendment because the employer is not, quote, the state, not the government, private employer.
Our next one's Robert from Richmond Hill, by the website, said his grandfather passed away last December, and when they were going through his stuff, they found a sawed-off shotgun, and I kept it. It's pretty cool and like a great home defense gun. I think it's illegal. What's the worst that could happen to me for having it? And I found a picture of one.
A barrel less than 18 inches on a shotgun, less than 16 on a rifle is an illegal prohibited weapon, both under federal law and state law. Since 1934, the National Firearms Act, right after Prohibition. But you know what? You can get permission from the federal government to have it. And under the Georgia statute, if you have a federal license for it, you're covered under Georgia law to possess it. So get it registered on the National Firearms Act. You fill out a form, pay some money, and you can have permission.
Could you be grandfathered in under your grandfather's weapon?
I was thinking that.
If it was very old?
I was thinking that, but how are you going to prove that? You know, is it registered in his name? How are you going to prove? So you're going to be explaining that behind bars.
Okay. Our next one, oh, I like this one. Franklin from Guyton writes and asks what the law is on building a home target range. I live on 10 acres. Oh, this is not that one. This is, I have a home target range. I live on 10 acres. I like to shoot. My neighbor calls the police every time I fire off a few rounds, and they come out and ask me to stop. I usually do it just to keep them happy, but what if I didn't? Can a man live on his, do what he wants on his own land?
I think so. I would.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if there's any zoning restrictions, but it doesn't sound like it with 10-acre parcel. I'd go for it.
Okay, real quick one. Name withheld by request. I saw an advertisement online for a .22 caliber single shot gun. It looks like a pen. It's cool. I want one. Is it legal?
That falls under what's called an AOW under the National Firearms Act. Any other weapon. It's a catch-all. So the pen gun is prohibited.
Okay.
But again, get federal permit.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Thank you for watching Talking Law TV. I hope to see you again next week right here on WSAV, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.